All right, so you ready for this? Today we are diving deep into Diego Maradona in 1986.
Ooh, yeah. One of the most legendary World Cup performances ever.
It really is. And our source material is this amazing article.
Yeah.
It's called Diego Maradona at World Cup 1986.
Yeah.
The archangel from these football times.
Very cool.
Now, look, I think most people listening already know the highlights, right? We've all seen the goals.
Yeah.
But what we're going to try to uncover today is how Maradona actually dominated that whole tournament.
Right.
And WHY, it still just, captures our imaginations all these years later.
I think one of the things that's so compelling is that it wasn't just a fairy tale. Just like this magical run to victory.
Right.
In 1986, Argentina, they were carrying a lot of baggage.
Oh, yeah.
The Falklands War.
Oh, huge.
The team was honestly kind of a mess, and Maradona himself was battling some pretty serious personal demons.
The article really doesn't shy away from any of that turmoil.
No.
I mean, you had the hepatitis and then the broken ankle from that horrible tackle.
Oh, yeah.
And then there was even a brawl that honestly would make a rugby match look tame.
Totally.
And then on top of all that, you had the drama, but who was going to be captain?
Oh, yeah, constantly.
It's honestly amazing that he even made it to Mexico.
And yet, in the middle of all that chaos, you have young Stuart Horsfield, who's the author.
Yeah.
He was already just completely mesmerized by Maradona.
Yeah.
He was just a kid watching his hero on a black and white TV.
Wow.
Hoping against hope that Maradona wouldn't just implode on the world stage.
It's really cool that we're getting this personal perspective woven into the whole analysis.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so I'm trying to paint the picture here. So we have Argentina, which is a team kind of on the brink. And then you have Maradona, who's as famous for his temper as he is for his talent.
Right.
So what happens when the tournament starts?
Yeah.
Does he rise to the occasion or just completely crumble under the pressure?
Well, I think that first match against South Korea kind of gives us a glimpse of what's to come. Maradona was getting hacked. He was getting kicked, you name it. But this time it felt like something was different. He kept his cool, delivered 3 assists, and Argentina won 3-1.
Okay.
It almost felt like we were seeing a more mature Maradona.
Yeah.
Like someone who'd learned to channel all that aggression.
Okay, so maybe a glimmer of hope there.
Yeah.
But the real test had to be that next match.
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
Game 2 was against Italy, and it was huge EE.
Yeah.
It was a rematch of that infamous 82 encounter where Italy basically just resorted to brutality to shut Maradona down. This time, Maradona wasn't going to let that happen.
Okay.
He scores this absolutely stunning volley.
Wow.
Like a goal that Horsfield describes as just pure technique and ability.
Wow.
It's almost symbolic, like he's exercising those demons from 4 years earlier.
I love that. And
Yeah.
think about this, Horsfield describes getting a new TV just for the tournament.
Yeah.
Even though it's still black and white.
Wow.
You can just feel that excitement, like a kid watching his hero, in his own room, just hanging on every single play.
It's those little details that make this story come alive.
Yeah.
And remember, we're still just in the group stage.
Oh, God.
Things are about to get really intense.
I bet.
But before we get to the England match, which I'm sure you're eagerly anticipating,
I am.
let's talk about what happens next.
Okay, I'm on the edge of my seat already.
Yeah.
So what happens after Italy?
Yeah.
Did Argentina just kind of cruise through the rest of the group stage?
Well, they beat Bulgaria 2-0.
Okay.
With Maradona adding another assist to his tally,
Wow.
securing that top spot in their group. So far, so good.
Okay.
But then they had to face Uruguay in the round of 16.
Uruguay.
And as Horsfield points out, this was like the South American version of England versus Scotland.
Oh, wow.
It's like this super fierce rivalry.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the pressure cooker Maradona was in?
Yeah. These weren't just friendly rivals they were facing.
No.
What happened?
Yeah.
Was Maradona able to handle the pressure of this high-stakes match?
Right. Or it was a tense match.
Yeah.
Really gritty, a real nail-biter.
Okay.
Argentina managed to squeak out a 1-0 victory.
Wow.
But it wasn't pretty.
No.
But even in a match like that where the play was just so scrappy and physical,
Right.
Horsfield noticed that Maradona was just becoming more and more influential.
Oh, really?
The way he moved with the ball, his balance, his control.
Yeah.
It was like he was operating on a whole different level.
Wow.
Almost like he was dictating the flow of the game.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it all leads up to that infamous quarterfinal clash against England.
Oh, yeah, of course, the match that's etched in football history forever.
Exactly. And remember, our author, Stuart Horsfield, he was an England supporter.
Oh, wow.
Like, he wanted England to win.
Okay.
But at the same time, he couldn't help but be in awe of Maradona's talent.
Right.
It was a real conflict for him.
I bet.
And then on June 22nd, 1986, in the sweltering heat of Mexico City, everything just collided in what became one of the most controversial and iconic matches in World Cup history.
You can already feel the tension building just talking about it.
Oh, yeah.
So take us inside that stadium.
Okay.
What was the atmosphere like?
Horsfield describes it so vividly. You know, it's midday, the sun is blazing.
Yeah.
And as God Save the Queen is playing, the camera focuses in on Maradona.
Oh.
And he's standing there looking at the England team with this almost like disdainful glance. You can practically feel the weight of the Falklands War just hanging in the air.
Wow. Yeah, it really wasn't just a football match.
No.
It was a clash of, like, history and politics and national pride.
Everything,
You could practically cut the tension with a knife.
Right.
So walk us through the match then.
Yeah.
How did it unfold?
Well, the first half was tense. It was cagey. England was playing defensively, trying to contain Maradona.
Right.
And then in the 51st minute, it happened.
Oh, here we go.
The hand of God.
Well.
Maradona jumps with Peter Shilton, the England goalkeeper.
Right.
And the ball ends up in the back of the net, and the world erupted.
I can't imagine what was going through young Stuart's mind at that moment.
I know.
Here's his hero scoring a goal that everyone could see was a handball.
Yeah.
Against his own team.
Totally.
What was his reaction?
Oh, he was devastated.
Yeah.
He describes it as this, like, gut punch.
Oh, man.
Anger, disbelief, even, like, tears welling up.
Wow.
He says he was slapping his hand in protest, along with the England players,
Yeah.
just feeling completely cheated.
It's incredible how a single moment in a match can evoke such powerful emotions.
Yeah.
But then, just 4 minutes later,
Genius unfolds.
wow.
Pure, unadulterated footballing genius.
Okay.
10.8 seconds, 12 touches. And Maradona goes on this mesmerizing run.
Oh, my.
He starts in his own half, weaves through the entire England defense,
Wow.
leaving a trail of just bewildered defenders in his wake.
Oh, my God.
And slots the ball past Shilton with this cool finish.
The
Unbelievable.
goal of the century.
I get chills every time I see it.
Yeah.
And even Horsfield, a heartbroken England fan that he was,
Right.
couldn't help but stand up and applaud.
He says he remembers every single detail of that goal, even decades later.
Wow.
It's just the power of Maradona's brilliance.
Yeah.
Like the ability to transcend rivalry
Yeah.
and captivate even the most ardent opponent.
Yeah. It's truly a remarkable moment.
It is.
In the space of 4 minutes, he goes from villain to legend.
I know.
He defied the rules
Right.
and then rewrote them with a moment of sheer artistry.
Yeah. And even his opponents were left stunned,
Yeah.
caught between just outrage and admiration.
So Argentina wins this emotionally charged match.
They do.
What happens next?
Yeah.
How does the rest of the tournament unfold? Yeah. It's hard to imagine topping that England match.
I know, right?
But they still had a World Cup to win.
Right. Argentina and Maradona.
So what happened next?
Yeah.
Did the, controversy and the intensity of that quarterfinal affect them? You'd think all that drama would be a distraction, but it seemed to just fuel Maradona
Oh, really?
and the entire Argentinian team. Like they were on a mission.
Okay.
In the semifinal against Belgium,
Belgium.
Maradona delivered another masterclass.
Oh, wow.
He scored 2 more goals. One, a volley that almost mirrored the one against Italy.
Mm.
And the other, as Horsfield puts it, a poor man's version of the goal of the century.
A poor man's version. Come on. Any other time, a goal like that would be considered legendary.
Exactly. It just goes to show the impossibly high standard Maradona had set.
Yep.
He was playing on a different plane and everyone knew it.
So then it all comes down to the final.
Right.
Argentina versus West Germany.
Yep.
Tell me about that match.
Well, the West German team was no pushover.
Oh, no.
I mean, they were a disciplined, well-organized unit,
Right.
led by Lothar Matthäus,
Okay.
who Maradona himself later called the best player he'd ever faced.
Wow, what a compliment.
It really was this clash of styles, Argentina's flair and improvisation. Yeah.
Against Germany's efficiency and tactical discipline.
So a true clash of the titans.
Def.
How did it all play out?
Well, Argentina took an early 2-0 lead,
Okay.
and it looked like they were going to cruise to victory.
Right.
But then West Germany stormed back,
Oh, no.
scoring 2 goals in quick succession to level the match at 2-2.
Oh, wow.
The momentum had completely shifted.
I bet everyone thought Argentina was going to let it slip away.
You know, after being so close,
Yeah.
it was a nail-biter, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
The pressure was immense.
I can't even imagine.
But then in the 84th minute,
Here we go.
Maradona stepped up.
Yeah.
Not with another dazzling goal,
Right.
but with this brilliant, perfectly weighted pass
Oh, wow.
that just sliced through the German defense and found Jorge Buchaga,
Chaga.
who calmly slotted the ball home for the winning goal.
Amazing.
Argentina were world champions.
It's almost poetic that Maradona didn't score the winning goal himself.
Yeah.
You know, it shows that he wasn't just about individual brilliance.
He was a true leader,
Yeah.
inspiring his teammates,
Yeah.
orchestrating the attack.
Right.
I mean, he was the heart and soul of that team.
Absolutely. And as Horsfield argues, no other World Cup has been so dominated by a single player.
Right.
You know, Maradona carried Argentina on his shoulders through the controversy, through the doubt,
Yeah.
to ultimate glory.
It's incredible.
It's a testament to his talent, his resilience,
Yeah.
and his ability to just inspire those around him.
So he went from this, talented but troubled young player
Yeah.
to a global icon, practically a deity in Argentina.
Right.
But what makes this story resonate with people, even today?
Right.
Even those who maybe weren't even alive in 1986.
Yeah.
Why are we still so captivated by Maradona?
That's a great question. I think it's partly because on the surface, it's just a classic sports narrative.
Yeah.
The underdog, the redemption arc,
Yeah.
the moments of sheer brilliance.
Those moments.
But it's also about something deeper. You know, Maradona, with all his flaws and contradictions,
Right.
he embodied the hopes and dreams of an entire nation.
I love that.
You know, he was the symbol of defiance, of passion,
Yeah.
of the power of the individual to overcome adversity.
It's a story that speaks to something universal.
Yeah.
That desire to see someone rise above their limitations and achieve something extraordinary.
Precisely. And Horsfield makes this interesting point.
Mm-hmm.
He doubts we'll ever see a tournament dominated by a single player to that extent again.
Yeah.
You know, the game has changed. It's become more tactical, more team-oriented.
That makes sense. But then again, there's always that part of us that wants to believe in the power of the individual.
Right.
The lone hero who can single-handedly change the course of history.
Absolutely. And that's perhaps the most enduring legacy of Maradona in '86.
Yeah.
He showed us that it's possible, even if just for a fleeting moment,
Right.
to transcend the limitations of the game
Yeah.
and achieve something truly magical.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the legend of Diego Maradona,
Yeah.
the question that lingers is, what can we learn from his 1986 triumph?
Right.
Is it simply a testament to individual brilliance?
Yeah.
Or is it a story about harnessing adversity, about leadership, about the power of a single person to inspire a nation? That's something for you to ponder.
It is.
Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey. Until next time.